SBR Videos is sponsored by Sports Cash System. Click on the link below for more information.
Welcome to this week's edition of SBR's NFL Rundown. Here we'll go over a couple of our early leans for Week 9's NFL schedule. So let's not waste any more time and let's get right to it, starting with that Bengals and Dolphins game. The Bengals are favored at -2.5, while the total can be found at 42.5. The Dolphins had a very disappointing defeat against the Pats last week, while the Bengals destroyed the Jets 49-9. This is a match where the 9th offense in the league will be going up against the 20th in defense. And after watching how both teams played in Week 8, I'm pretty sure that the Bengals can cover the -2.5 easily. The next game we're looking at is the Falcons and the Panthers. The Panthers come in as 7.5 favorites, and the total was set at 43. The 2-5 Falcons hardly resemble the team that started 8-0 last season, and things just seem to be getting worse for them. They find themselves as 21st team defensively, but they are the 12th place in offense. The Panthers have the 3rd best defense in the league, and they are 8th rushing the ball. This surely looks like a game where the Panthers can come out with a win. At least on paper it does. Our lean has to be with the Falcons plus 7.5, as we do think that they will try to keep the score close, even if they do end up losing the match. The next game that we're looking at is the Chiefs against the Bills. The Chiefs are favored at -3.5, while the total is 40.5. And the Chiefs are off to their best start since 2003, and are now the only team to be undefeated at 8-0 as we enter into Week 9. The Bills, on the other hand, are 3-5 and aren't looking to get any better, or at least until they get E.J. Manuel back. The Bills are ranked as the 26th defense of the league, which should bode well for KC's running game. I don't see the Bills scoring that many points, as I doubt that they will have much possession of the ball. So our lean on this game has to be on the under 45 points. The next game we're looking at is the Eagles and the Raiders. Somehow the Eagles are -2.5 favorite at some books, and the total still isn't available. The 3-5 Eagles are spiraling out of control, and it looks like they lost Vic again. And while Foles could be ready for this match, it still wouldn't make much of a difference. If either Vic or Foles can't start, Philly will have to rely on Matt Barkley, who played horribly last week, and simply isn't ready to lead this team. On the other hand, the Raiders have been a nice surprise so far. They aren't the best team out there, but they are quite unique. Terrell Pryor had an interesting game against the Steelers, posting only 88 passing yards and 2 interceptions. But he did rush for 106 yards and a TD. It all points to be a game that will be decided by whoever rushes the ball best. Philly is the 3rd best team rushing the ball, but they are 31st in defense, while the Raiders are the 5th best team rushing the ball and 10th in defense overall. Our lean here has to be on the Raiders at plus 2.5, simply because the Eagles aren't reliable enough, especially since they won't have their 1st or 2nd quarterback available. The next game we have is the Colts and the Texans. The Colts spread is set at -2.5, and the total can be found at around 45. Both teams are coming back from some much-needed rest after Week 8's bye. Texans coach Gary Kubiak said that they will be benching Schaub, who, by the way, is 100%, in order to start their 3rd-string quarterback, Case Keenum. And his reasoning for this move was, it's a decision based on what I saw take place this week with Case. So it seems that fans were finally heard, especially since we all know that they were pretty pissed off with Schaub's recent performances. The 5-2 Colts should be getting back their 1st-round draft pick, linebacker Jordan Werner, which should help improve their defense somewhat. This is a team where I would expect the Colts to take the win, but the new/old quarterback for the Texans, Case Keenum, should be a game changer for the team desperately looking to keep their season alive. So in this case, we're going to have to lean on the plus 2.5 for the Texans. Well, that's all for this week's NFL Rundown. We'll be back next Monday with more coverage and free picks for your favorite NFL games. For SBR Forum, this is Dax Floyd.